When the emperor is compared to the sagely king of wheel-turning, he looks lowly, just like when the beggar stands beside the emperor. The awesome appearance of the sagely king of wheel-turning is supreme, but when compared to the king of Triastrema, he is ugly. By comparing the god of Indra's heaven to the king of the sixth Devaloka, he is not close, even by 100 or 1,000 times. And if one compares the king of the sixth Devaloka to the bodhisattvas and shravakas in the land of ultimate bliss, the radiance of his countenance is not equivalent to them by 1,000,000 times. The palaces they reside in, their clothing and food are the same as the king of the sixth Devaloka. However, their awesome virtue, ranking, and spiritual penetrations in metamorphosis cannot be equalled by all the gods and humans calculated 1,000,000 times. Ananda, you should know that such merits, virtues, and adornment of Buddha Amitabha's land of ultimate bliss are inconceivable. Chapter 19, replete and satisfying enjoyment. Moreover, all the living beings in the land of ultimate bliss, whether born in the past, now being born, or to be born in the future, will obtain such a wonderful body. Their appearance and countenance are dignified and majestic, their bliss and virtues are innumerable, their wisdom is thorough, and their spiritual penetrations are self-mastery. All their enjoyments are abundant and replete. The palaces, clothing, fragrant flowers, banners, canopies, articles of adornment, and whatever they want will be satisfied as they wish for them. At mealtime, the bowls of 7 gems will be spontaneously placed before them, and all will be filled with foods of 100 flavours. Though experiencing the food, there is no actual eating. Just by seeing the colour and smelling the fragrance, they consume the food in their mind. Their form and strength will increase, and there is no need for them to empty their bowels. Both their body and mind will be soft, but they will not be attached to the flavours. When finished, everything will disappear. When the next mealtime comes, all will reappear. Furthermore, there are numerous wonderful and precious clothes, hats, belts, and necklaces of precious stones, all emitting measureless light and shining with 100,000 wonderful colours. All are replete, perfect, and worn naturally on the body. The shape and colour of their houses match the person living there. Jewelled nets cover everything, and jewelled bells are hung around the houses. Such wonderful, rare, and precious articles are decorated everywhere. Their shining, radiant colours are extremely majestic and beautiful. The towers, rails, halls, houses, pavilions, whether wide or narrow, square or round, big or small, up in the air or on the ground, are all pure, peaceful, concealed, and wonderfully joyful. These perfect and satisfying houses will all appear before one as soon as one thinks of them. Chapter 20, Meritorious Wind and Flowery Rain. At each mealtime in the Buddha land, the natural and meritorious wind will blow gently at the nets and numerous treasure trees. It will send forth a wonderful sound, proclaiming the parameters of suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and no self. It will also spread myriad soothing, elegant and virtuous fragrances. Whoever smells it will discard worldly worries and bad habits. When the wind touches one's body, one will feel peace, harmony, and realization, just like the monk who has attained the samadhi of complete cessation. Moreover, the wind will blow the 7 gem woods, and the falling flowers will gather into formations of the light group. Various colours and lights will pervade the whole Buddha land, and flowers of the same colour will group together in order. The flowers are soft, shining, and clean, just like the fabric of Tula. When one steps on them, they will sink to the depth of 4 fingers. When one lifts his feet, they rise again. After the mealtime, the flowers will disappear and the ground will be clean. Later, new flowers will fall again. According to the time of day, the same process will repeat for 6 times, and each time will be just like the previous one. Chapter 21. Buddha's lights emanate from the jewelled lotuses. Numerous precious lotus flowers pervade that world. Each precious flower contains hundreds of thousands of billions of leaves. The brightness of the flowers emits measureless colours, green coloured of green light, white coloured of white light, and the same for the colours of black, yellow, red, and purple. Furthermore, there are countless wonderful gems and hundreds of thousands of mani pearls, reflecting and decorating each other. Their brightness surpasses the light of the sun and moon. The size of those lotus flowers can be 1/2 a yojana, 1, 2, 3, 4, or even up to hundreds or thousands of yojanas. Each flower emits 360 trillion rays of light. Each light manifests 360 trillion Buddhas. Their bodies are the colour of pure gold, and their marks are unique and supreme. Each Buddha releases hundreds of thousands of radiances and universally speaks the subtle and wonderful dharmas for the beings of 10 directions. All these Buddhas safely guide boundless living beings on the Buddha's proper way. Chapter 22. Sure attainment of ultimate fruition. Furthermore, Ananda, in that Buddha land there is no dim light or darkness, sun, moon or stars. The phenomenon of day and night, or the terms of year, month or seasonal periods. No one is attached to the concept of having a home or dependent. In all the places there is no need for marks, signs, names, titles, or the mind of accepting, renouncing or distinguishing. They only enjoy the supreme pure happiness. If there is a good man or good woman, whether was born or is being born now, if that person will dwell on the gathering of the proper samadhi, they will surely certify to perfect complete enlightenment. Why? Those who are on the gatherings of deviant or undecided samadhi cannot understand the cause of the establishment of the Buddha land. Chapter 23. Praises from the Buddhas of 10 directions. Again, Ananda, in the east there are worlds numberless as Ganges sands, and in each world there are Buddhas numberless as Ganges sands. Each Buddha brings forth the appearance of a vast and long tongue, emits measureless lights, and speaks the sincere and honest words in praising Buddha Amitabha's inconceivable merits and virtues. Buddhas from worlds as numberless as Ganges sands in the south, west, and north are also praising Buddha Amitabha. And Buddhas from the worlds are numberless as Ganges sands in the 4 directions, above and below, are also praising the Buddha. For what reason? To let the living beings of all other directions hear the Buddha's name, give rise to a pure mind, be mindful of and uphold the name, seek refuge in and make offerings to that Buddha. If anyone can bring forth just one thought of pure unwavering belief and sincerely transfer all the good roots to the aspiration of rebirth into that Buddha land, that person's wish will be fulfilled, and he will attain the non-regression and eventually the supreme proper Bodhi. Chapter 24. The 3 ranks of rebirth. The Buddha told Ananda, the gods and humans in the worlds of the 10 directions who have brought forth a mind of utter sincerity, wishing to be born into that Buddha land, can be categorized into 3 ranks. Those who are of the superior rank have renounced the family life, gotten rid of desire and become a left-home person. They have brought forth the Bodhi heart and single-mindedly recite the name of Buddha Amitabha. With the cultivation of numerous merits and virtues, they vow to be born into that country. At the end of their lives, Buddha Amitabha and the assembly of sages will appear before them, and in an instant they will follow the Buddha and be born into that land. They will expediently obtain the natural birth in the flowers of 7 gems. They will be wise, gallant and vigorous, and they will have self-mastery and spiritual penetrations. Thus, Ananda, any being who wants to see Buddha Amitabha in this very life should bring forth the supreme Bodhi resolve. Furthermore, he should wholeheartedly be mindful of the land of ultimate bliss, and uphold it, and transfer the merits and virtues which are vigorously accumulated. Through such practice he can see the Buddha, be born into that country, attain non-regression, and eventually the supreme Bodhi. Those of the intermediate rank, though they cannot become left-home people and vigorously cultivate the merits and virtues, should bring forth the supreme Bodhi resolve and single-mindedly recite Buddha Amitabha's name. They should do their best in cultivating all wholesome merits and virtues, upholding the precept of the vegetarian fast, building stupas and statues, offering meals to the left-home people, hanging up pennants and lighting lamps, offering flowers and burning incense, and transferring all these merits for rebirth into that Buddha land. At the end of their lives, Buddha Amitabha will appear in his transformation body, which has excellent marks and great brightness, just like the real Buddha himself. And with the great assembly they will encircle and appear before these beings. They will gather in these beings and escort them. These beings will follow the duplicate body of the Buddha to that land and dwell on the irreversibly supreme Bodhi. Their merits and virtues and wisdom will be inferior to those of the superior land. Those of the lowest rank, if they cannot cultivate the merits and virtues, should bring forth the supreme Bodhi resolve and single-mindedly recite Buddha Amitabha's name and joyfully have unwavering belief in him. They should, without any doubt, sincerely aspire to be born into that country.